Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Adventure Within podcast. My name is Heather Fritz. I am a healer, clairvoyant, and meditation teacher. Today, I am interviewing Helen. She is the founder of Helen Creates Beauty, based in Huntington Beach, California, and the creator of the Aura Color Wheel, a system to identify your soul's purpose through your soul's aura color. Her new book, The Aura Color Wheel, what your soul aura reveals, your soul gifts, wounds, and lessons, is now available to pre-order. The book will be officially coming out July 15th. You can take the free quiz to discover your soul aura color at the www.aurawheel.com and join the exclusive Aura Wheel Circle Facebook private group if you have pre-ordered the book. She is the author of Flowing with My Rainbow Chakra Affirmation Deck. Her signature Flowing with Your Rainbow course, based on the system, has named her a Visionary Educator on MSN.com. She is an aura reader, intuitive painter, certified crystal healer, angel channeler, third generation Feng Shui master, certified yoga and meditation instructor, and spiritual teacher. She is also an Ayurvedic practitioner, Vedic astrologer, Theta healer, and passionate Flamenco dancer. Her mission is to help 1 million souls find and live their soul's purpose with joy and fulfillment. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Adventure Within. I am here with Helen. Welcome to the show.
Yay, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Like, you're such a joy to look at your website and see all your beautiful colors and all the things you talk about. I'm so excited for this interview today.
Yeah, thank you, Heather. Me too.
All right, so I'm just going to dive in with the first question. So how did your spiritual journey start? Like, when was your awakening?
Yeah, so I was pretty much in the matrix until 2011. At the time, I was actually a PhD student, and but I was deeply unhappy. From the outside world, everything seems great, right? I was engaged to my husband. I was almost graduating from my PhD, get a stable job as a professor. But however, I suffer from anxiety and depression and went to an ER visit with panic attack. So that was my wake-up call. Oh, yes, that was bad. I was under a lot of stress to publish papers. To graduate from a PhD program, you need to publish 6 to 7 academic papers. I think I had 3 at the time. And also my soul wasn't designed to do, analytical, statistical analysis all the time, because I'm a free spirit. I'm more of an artist than a statistician. So, well, anyway, so that was my wake-up call, 2011. And then my soul really yearning to know, who am I, why am I here, and how I can be happy. The first stop, actually, it was a yoga studio. At the time, I was in Philadelphia, and that was actually the oldest yoga studio in Philadelphia. I didn't know at the time because it was close to where I live, and I'm like, okay, let me see, and I
What's
love
up here?
yoga.
Yeah.
Right. And the teacher, Shiva Das, he recommended me to join the yoga teacher and meditation training program. And I just feel a pull to join. But oh boy, the first, still remember the group meditation experience. I was crying like a baby the whole time.
Oh, you were clearing so much energy.
Right. I was crying. And I was born and raised in China. There is a standard.
Lots of
question
programming
answer
there.
is like, there was no ghost, no God, no nothing. I did not raise religious at all.
Okay.
But the whole time while I was meditating, there was someone, I know it was Divine Mother, was holding me and was caressing me the whole damn time. And I'm like, no, this is like, nothing that I've learned from the system before was correct, because that was my direct first experience of something greater than me was holding me the whole time during the meditation with a group of strangers. It's like, I don't even know them, but I was like, you don't normally cry in front of strangers, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like sobbing. Oh, wow. From that on, meditation becomes my medication.
Oh,
Literally, after 3 months of daily meditation, I
mm-hmm.
was off any anxiety and depression med. So that's my takeoff to my spiritual journey.
I love that. Yes. Love
Yes.
that. Oh, yeah.
Um,
No, that's so interesting though. It's funny for some that like the spiritual awakening is like crashing into a wall. Like
oh yeah.
you being like hospitalized. I was like, "Oh my gosh." And it really can be like that. Like it's funny, our stories are kind of similar. Like, mine started like with yoga and
Uh-huh.
like doing yoga classes and then yeah, it all just kind of spiraled from there. But my husband actually like really introduced me to like clairvoyance
Uh-huh.
and stuff too.
Oh,
And
that's interesting.
because
It's funny
he
that
did all that before.
yeah, I think we have we're definitely soul contract, like soul family coming here to assist us to ascend.
Yes.
My husband is also too. I mean, he actually recommended me to read books on Deepak Chopra and
Ah,
like the spiritual books that I haven't read before,
right.
my academic career. And it was fun. Like he is not psychic or spiritual in that standpoint, but I think he's supportive of me doing anything I want, pretty
Right.
much,
Right. He was there to hold
So
open the door. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he was the one that, started, and then I started with, Deepak Chopra's meditation, like the guided meditation thing very early on. And then I got hooked on that. And the yoga studio also provide, Ayurveda training,
Oh,
Vedic
yeah.
astrology training. It's like a companion sister science to all of it.
Yes.
And I wanted to be an architect since I was born. Like, but at the
Oh,
time they said that, oh, female architect, you're not gonna make money, you're not gonna have a husband, whatever. So I
right.
didn't really end up doing it. So professionally, because of that, that experience professionally, I really want to become an architect and interior designer. So I actually went back to school and get that degree
I love
and
that.
combine my Feng Shui heritage that I inherited from my father. He was the second generation Feng Shui master, so that made me a third
Wow.
generation. I grow up with
Wow.
it. Like
That's amazing.
yeah, I don't even need training of it because I grow
You're like, it's woven in. It's right there.
that's just how we do it naturally.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, it's just like with like anybody, like you put the same dish in the same place, you're probably going to do the same thing like that your mother did. You put the same dish in the same place. Not to say that it's because feng shui is more spiritual than that, but yeah, it
yeah,
was just
yeah,
naturally there. You're
it's
naturally
there.
aware. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I also transitioned from a corporate like interior design firm to opening my first business
Hmm.
in feng shui interior design, because I can tell, I just worked for a corporate for a couple years and I already knew that it wasn't for me.
Right. Yeah.
So
When you're doing the fake smile at people making jokes you don't actually like, this when you're like, ooh, I'm in the wrong place.
yeah, I know. I have to admit, like I know it's a funny thing to say, but I want to point it out that what really throw me off is that you are not allowed to say something really natural, your natural cycle, meaning that like your female cycle in a corporate setting, even to a female boss.
Hmm.
That's I find it really annoying. I think we should honor our natural rhythm even to your work cycles, when you work harder, when you get rest. And I was sharing a little concern with my boss, during a job site. It was site measurement day. It was really hot outside. And I was having my flow, and then I said that, well, it can easily, of course, if the deadline is like then, there was
Right.
nothing to negotiate, but we can arrange it, around it. But it
Right. When you
feels
know
so
you're,
uncomfortable to just say
yes.
that. I'm like, really? Seriously? That's not what I want. That's not what I want in my job. So
Right.
I know that sounds a little nuts, but that like
No,
not
not at
being
all.
able to speak that up, I'm like, no, I'm not doing this
Right.
job.
No, exactly. No, like my husband and I have like I love talking about this actually, like with
Okay.
with the female cycle and like trying to like form your life kind of around it because it makes more sense. Because
Right, exactly.
it's
Yeah,
like why like I feel like women are more susceptible to stress and anxiety and depression because we're not going with our natural hormones and flow.
I
And it's
totally agree.
and
Yeah,
and
so
because society's kind of built around men's cycles. Like men's
that's
cycles are
right.
24 hours. Like it's like you get
Right,
up in the morning, you go to work, you work hard all day, and then you go to bed at night, and then that's their 24-hour cycle. For
right,
women, we're like, this week we're really social and we really like people. This week
right.
we maybe don't like people.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I totally know what you're talking about. So that's why, that's the main reason I left the corporate.
Right.
And but once you are in alignment with your soul's calling, with your true soul purpose,
Yes.
the divine or the universe rise up to meet you.
Yes.
So like, and then I know that I need to spurn off to have my own firm doing more like spiritual interior design, like Feng Shui. My
Yeah.
first client sold up even before I finished forming the paperwork.
That.
Yeah,
Yes.
I met someone at an event, and I she asked what I do. I said, "Oh, I'm a interior designer," and then she's a wedding gown showroom owner,
Oh,
and she said, "Oh, come design my wedding gown showroom for me." I'm like, "Okay." She said, "I just like your energy." Like she didn't even
right.
ask my portfolio. Like, what have you done before? I'm like,
Right.
really? And also because it's a small business owner, she make her own solo decisions, so it's much easier to work
Right.
that
She
way.
can do whatever she wants, and
Right,
I love
exactly. So
clients like
my
that.
business, that was my first client. So my business took off from then. And I'm like, wow, I was so grateful, because at the
Yeah.
time, when you left the corporate job and everything, you don't know, but I'm just like
Yeah.
flowing with what I feel called, what my soul is feel called to do. That's
Yes.
like following the steps. And
Yes.
of course, along the way, I pick up all these trainings, like crystal healing,
Yes.
you name it. I would try it, and all this self-discovery system, because I'm so like, I really want to know, who I am, why am I here, and those like, so that's why I look into Enneagram, numerology, Genie Keys, human design. If there is a systems out there about self-discovery, I've already studied it hard.
I love that. You're like, I've tested the waters. I
Yeah,
love it.
that's right. So,
That's so great. I love that. Yeah, and that's one thing that I find interesting about, the spiritual people I've met is they become a student of the universe in a way. Like,
right,
because it's
right.
like we're all different, like we're all on different paths in a way. And
Mm-hmm.
but we all get information different ways, different
Yes.
kinds of information. And so some people they're like, oh, Ayurvedic is like the only way. Not saying that like I've met a lot of people like that, but some people they pick their niche, their thing, and then they
Right.
go with that. But a lot of people they try all of them because there's bits of information in each of them that help us grow and become more us. Does that make sense?
Oh, I totally agree. So a couple things I want to mention on that point is that I really like a motto. It's my motto, and I really like a saying from Lao Tzu. He said that knowing others is wise,
Yes.
knowing yourself is enlightenment. So
Yes.
I
Oh,
think, yep, I think at a soul level, our job is to really know our soul and how to evolve from that point, right?
right.
So no matter how you're taking the knowledge and like which route you choose or you resonate with, that
Hmm.
doesn't really matter.
Right.
The key part is knowing yourself deeply
Right.
and
Yes.
how to work on that.
Right.
So that's my motto. And the second point I want to point out is that the more you learn, because I'm my husband said I'm a professional student, the more you learn, yeah, exactly. The more you actually realize, first, you actually become more humble. You
Yes.
actually realize that the more you don't know. And the second thing is that the more you find similarities across all spiritual truths, as
Mm.
long as they're pointing out the truth, even in religion, even
Mm.
not in this all these self-discovery systems,
Oh
and
yeah.
even in religion,
Oh yeah.
because I'm not born in any religious. So, but I read the Bible,
Hmm.
even the Quran, the Kabbalah, the Vedic text, a
Yeah.
bunch. I mean, I read all of them,
Right.
and it's all common. Although there were some specificities that's a little bit different based on the
Right.
culture, where it comes from,
Right.
but at the end of the day, the essence, the
Is the
truth,
same.
is the same thing. They are just written in different language.
Yes.
So that's how I felt in terms
Yeah.
of that. That's why
Oh
when you
yeah.
mention it's you become the student or the child of the cosmos,
Yeah.
because no matter how it was born, that particular wisdom, as long as it's wisdom, as long as it's truth, there
Hmm.
is similarity, there is commonality, there
Hmm.
is that fundamentally
Right.
truth to it.
Yes.
And the goal is literally to help you to know your soul at a
Yes.
soul level and how to
Yes.
evolve from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I had a conversation with I think he's a preacher. He doesn't wear his collar thing, but he's done a lot of ministry studies.
Uh-huh.
And he was having a hard time with someone. And I said, "Hey, they're just on their own path and they'll
Right.
figure it out. And maybe it's not our job to always like it's one of those things know when it's time to like show them the door, like show them the door to the universe. And then some people they're not you can show them the door all day like here it is. And they are
Yeah.
not going to see it because it's not time for them or it's not for
Right.
them or it's just not the thing for them.
They are not ready. Yeah.
That too.
And yeah, it's just like I think I mentioned, like I don't like to interject people's karmic directions. Like I let them to make their own choice,
Yes, autonomy, all the autonomy.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you can send out invitation, but if that's it, if you really cannot force anybody to do something that they don't want to, or they are not ready for it.
Right.
It's like that. It's their own path.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, you can just work on yourself. And
Yes.
yeah, so that's a free will. I guess that's another thing.
Yeah, yeah, right. That's one of the extra little sprinkles of the fun of being human.
Right. That's exactly right.
Incarnating here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so anyway, so I'll jump on to my next question. That was beautiful answer, and I love your story. Beautiful, gorgeous. Um, what types of beings do you channel? And can you tell me more about your channeling experiences?
Yes, I love it. So I guess I was born psychic, but I wasn't trained or know about it until 2011, my spiritual awakening.
Hmm.
But 2018, it's actually my spontaneous Kundalini awakening.
Oh,
So I didn't even know you can actually get that cerebral energy raising up your spine. Because
right.
at the beginning, when I study my spiritual practice, it's literally to heal my anxiety and depression, and to so that I can be healing, and also to just keep myself sanity. To be honest, so I
Right.
wasn't seeking.
To
I
handle the
wasn't.
outside world.
Yeah, that's right. I wasn't seeking to become, a channeler or medium in any way.
Hmm.
But it happened to me after 7 years of daily meditation. I never stopped. Like to today, it's 14 years probably. Like
Oh,
it
wow.
really, like meditation is the thing I do. Like brushing my teeth. I combine it. I set the timer. I combine it with brushing teeth so that I never skip it in a day.
I
If you
love that.
can brush your teeth every day, you can do meditation every day, okay? And it doesn't have to be
I'm gonna put
long.
that on a billboard somewhere.
So that's why, it's literally my dose of vitamin. So I keep that every day. So then 2018, I had it spontaneously. I wasn't prepared for it. I had a Kundalini awakening. At the time, I was doing a lot of training at the same time, so that's good because I have spiritual support. I
Right.
literally DM my crystal healing teacher. Hey, my third eye is wide open. I see 1,000 different things in my third eye. What happened? What happened to me? Like, come help me. She said, put a black tourmaline on your third eye to close it a bit. Like, you need to calm down. You need to
Right.
do embodiment practice. I
Right.
wasn't so because it was like, whoa, okay, this is new. But also I wasn't afraid. I was just very surprised, but I wasn't like
Right.
fear wasn't kicking, it wasn't. I was a little bit afraid, but not fear, not deep fear.
Right.
Because it's kind of cool at the same time, right?
Right. It's
It's
like
like,
drinking from a fire hose. It's like there's so much
right.
information, but you're like,
Yeah, that's a good comparison. That's right. It's like good stuff, but
hmm
at the same time, it's like a lot of stuff.
right. It's like the
So
floodgate open. Phew.
yeah, that's right. That's right. And from then on, the first thing I noticed, like after I calmed down, she actually guided me through a process that I calm my energy down.
hmm
And then I actually the first thing I noticed, I see everything. It's almost like a holographic reality. I
Yeah.
see auras. So the first
Yes.
thing is color, because I'm also a professional artist. So I work with color very intimately, light and dark and color.
Yes.
So I see colors around beings, any living thing,
Yep.
doesn't have to be human. Animals, trees, plants
hmm
has its own color. I'm
hmm
like, wow, that's beautiful. That's
Right.
actually make my world even more beautiful, right?
hmm
and and then when I do meditation, so when I in the channeling state, that's my meditation, and then I will see spirit guides in various forms. Actually, I mentioned that in my books. There were 9 type of guides that I channel. Depends on whether I'm working with a client or whether I'm channeling for myself.
Right.
So I see the first I see was angels. That's actually my I call them homies.
Right. I love my angels. Yeah.
Yeah, so angels is definitely my homies. That's the first one I see, and I've taken a lot of angelic channeling courses from different spiritual teachers to making sure that I'm doing the right thing.
Right.
Because when you're speaking to see, you're like, I'm not sure
Yeah,
whether I'm
sometimes you hit that. You're like, I don't know about
yeah, is
you.
that yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So I see angels. I also see star seeds, star beings.
hmm
I've seen actually about 24 different star systems, between 22 to 24 different star systems, and they have different energies and different features. Because I'm personally a Pleiadian star seed, so
Uh-huh.
I know star beings quite well. And ancestors, that's
Mhm.
basically mediumship.
Right.
But if ancestors can become a spirit guide, they themselves are work up their soul for quite a lot in their revolution journey.
hmm
The ancestors that still have a lot of soul wound and soul lessons to learn and heal, they
Yeah.
generally cannot become your guide. Well, they can
Right.
hang around in the spirit realm, they hang around, they
Yeah.
have some wishes to finish,
I know.
but they're not your guides, okay?
Yeah, no, that happens to me all the time. I'm like, my grandmas, they both be coming and telling me, like, you need to be doing this and you need to be doing that. And I'm like, up, 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 up.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. If you're medium, they're just
No.
hanging out. And also I want to say that when I tune in the first time when I see that, I don't have any fear. It's because I really think the spirit realm is not like Hollywood movies are portrayed
No.
as
No.
like yeah, it was actually quite peaceful.
Yeah.
It's and nothing is intruding. It's actually quite peaceful. I don't
Yes.
find it afraid at all. That was the good thing. That was a good part. It's not
Right.
scary at all.
Right.
And
Especially if you like are comfortable with it. Like it only becomes scary if you kind of go into it with fear, like looking through like fear goggles. If you're like
right, I
looking
totally
for
agree.
like if you're going
Right.
into it looking for the scary things, you'll find them.
Right. Yeah, yeah, it's like almost like your intention would direct you to there. But yeah, as long as like I've channeled these 9 type of guys, I never had an issue with that.
Yeah.
And I also channel animal spirits, so animal
Oh,
guides.
that's got to be so cool. I've never done that. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's why some of them are in my paintings as well. I've seen a particular animal spirit and I paint them. I like that. I channel fairies. So fairies and elemental energies, they are
hmm
very closely but there are different type of fairies, like
Yeah.
gnomes and
Oh, yeah.
Scylla.
There's some that are really sweet that they're just trying to help, but they're very clumsy.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So
Like they're like, I
they
want
were
to help, and I'm like, but you're kind of messing it up a little bit.
yeah, so What else? Ascended masters, of course. How can I
Ah,
forget them? They are all
right.
around, both from the east and the west,
Mm-hmm.
like Buddha, Guan Yin, or Jesus Christ, Mary Magdalene.
Mm-hmm.
And I also see goddess, and like they are not, like they might not have walked the human path, but
Right.
they are like the
Like they never
goddess that.
incarnated. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Exactly, they never incarnated in a human form, but
Mhm.
throughout the history there were goddess and gods. Throughout the
Yes.
history, both from Eastern and Western traditions, there were
Yeah.
there were
Oh,
all of
yeah.
them. And I also see deities
Ah,
like
yeah.
Ganesh,
Yeah.
um, you know, um, Shiva. I would say more like a god in Indian traditions, but
Hmm.
like deities in a sense that people believe they exist, but they don't like they don't also have a human form.
Right.
And the last type of guys, I think, is a temporary guy. That's when I tune in to do message reading for other people.
Mm,
When I see a guy that comes in, it might be a profession of some kind from the past, but they are assisting them right now for a temporary task that they're
right.
doing.
Right.
That's normally like in physicians when they're doing a surgery, or like
Ah,
when
right.
people composing music. Like I see sometimes I see like dancers, musicians, even Mozart can be behind them. Like it's a temporary guy. Actually, one visited me called Herbert Spencer when I channel my book. That he said that you are here to write a book about soul evolution, and I'm like, oh, okay, because he is the one that actually used Charles Darwin's human evolution to society and psychology. And I
Ah,
Google
wow.
him up. I said that, well, I need a name, or I need a vision. I need something to remember you by, right? So
Right.
that's, I call them the temporary guys. They're not
Yeah.
here all the time, but
Right.
they're
They're
coming
not
and
part of your
going.
like your regular crew. They're just a little drop in. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So those are the type of guys that I've done
Love that.
for either myself or for other people.
I love that so much. Oh, that I and isn't it so cool to know you have such a roster to like just shuffle through like, I just need a little something of this today. Like, yeah.
Yeah, what I love about it is that when I see a soul, or when I into coming into a channeling mode, it's like I see what type of guys are around you. I
Hmm.
can get a sense of what this soul needs right now, or what is in the past. Like, where are you? Like, do I see more Eastern guys or Western guys? Do I see more star beings than
Right.
planet Earth ascended masters? Then I know your soul has been like here more lifetimes, in the star system more lifetimes, or
Yeah.
in the east more lifetimes, in the west more. It's a very interesting thing, because some people I don't see animals. So, but some people, I only see animals and fairies, and I know all they like to work with are the nature, the elementals, right? So it,
Yes.
it tells you quite a bit about this particular soul, right? Is this
Hmm.
soul a healer? Is this soul a teacher? An artist? They have different
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
I love that. When you mention the roster, that's what I love. Immediately I can,
Yeah.
I can get that information about this particular soul.
I did
That's
not, I
something I
have never
find it.
actually thought of that. Like with looking at people, like I read auras and stuff as well, but yeah, I've never actually like looked at their roster of guides.
Right.
I've only looked at my own.
Of course, yeah. Well, the first one that you need to know is definitely yourself, right?
Right,
And
right. I was like, I've
yeah,
only
yeah.
looked at my own roster. I've never even thought about being like, oh, who's in there. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
if you perceive it that way, you get to know a soul from a past life regression, like the Akashic record standpoint. You know
Right,
what this soul need to work on, right? Like,
right.
like from a soul evolution, and that's also because that's why I write the book, so to help people to understand their evolution journey, like why
Yeah.
you're here, because your team is a little bit different. It might tell me that if you have a lot of ancestor, like an army of ancestor behind you, you are here to heal your ancestor trauma
Mm,
collectively, not only yourself, but also your ancestors, right? So it's like
yeah.
it's kind of, it gives me a little bit more information to work with of what you need to do this lifetime to evolve.
Right.
So yeah, that's like kind of good to
Ah,
know.
yeah, no,
Um,
I love that. Usually when I'm like looking at those kinds of things, it's not that I'm looking at their guides. I'm usually like what's your karma?
mm.
Or, what's something you need you're working on in this lifetime? Like what's your mock-up for this lifetime? That's usually how I grab those information, but I'm like, oh man, maybe talking to their guides would be much faster.
Yeah, so that you can get faster information of that. But I like that too. I mean, that's another way. You see, so I'm all encompassing. As you said that
Oh
we get to the entry point, a little bit different,
yeah.
but at the end of the day, it's tuning into the spirit realm to get useful information for the ascension of this particular soul.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. Yeah,
I love that.
it's naturally like I just like I didn't have any formula to follow, to be honest. Once
No,
my
but
third
I
eye
love that you
opened,
formed that. I wouldn't have thought of that. That's so cool.
yeah, so it's just intuitively, oh, that's interesting when I see this, and then I kind of get a confirmation. Like the more I read, the more I understand. Oh, yeah, that's true. If I see these guys, typically this soul is like this soul has this part. It's like the more you do it, the more you realize, hey, this works because it's useful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Let me think. What would you say to someone who is, because like we kind of touched on the scary thing earlier, and I kind of want to explore that a little bit.
Okay.
Like, what would you say to someone who's like, no, like, oh, I can't, I'm too, I'm too scared. I don't have any confidence in myself with it. I'm gonna get overtaken by a being, because some people, that's
Oh, yes.
a real fear. Like that was even a fear of mine very early on in my spiritual
Hmm.
journey because I felt like I was very hard for me to ground
Oh,
and
yeah.
to
Oh, yeah.
and to make my body safe. Like, because I'm a natural medium, I naturally pop out of my body very easily.
Uh-huh.
And so that was a very real fear for me.
Yeah.
It's not a fear anymore, but
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but
yeah.
for like people in the audience who
Oh
like are
yeah, I
experiencing
I
that.
kind of laugh. It's not because I think this lightly. It's because many students have
Yes.
asked me the same question. It's not because I deem it lightly. No, it's
No, no.
important.
Well, it's
So
humorous. You got to have amusement about it,
yeah,
But
yeah, exactly. It happened to a lot of my spiritual students when they are new to psychic abilities. I said that you need to develop a psychic ability so that you can receive guidance from your own guide. You don't have to
Yes.
become a professional medium. You don't have to, but it's good to have that
For
clarity
yourself.
that you can
Yes.
connect with your guide and get the message. So you don't need a
Yes.
reader all the time, right? So when they developed that, actually, most of them had share the same concern. It's like, well, I'm scared. Like, am I going to be processed by something and things like that?
Right.
Yeah, most of the time is that they literally have either a red aura layer wound, like they have
Mm.
a wound that's based in the red aura layer. So that's our sense of security, safety, and also grounding, right?
Yes. That
So
yes.
typically it's a soul that's born with red aura layer wound.
Hmm.
And like that's not, I guess that's 95% when I read, when people had
Yeah, because
that
it's
fear
around
initially.
safety. Yeah.
Yeah, initially it's because of that. So that you need to work on literally your red aura layer. So your root chakra.
Your first
You
layer.
need to
Yeah.
learn the grounding techniques. You need to literally from your diet standpoint, you need to eat red beets. Like basically things are red. Where crystals and drink crystal water. That's like
Mhm.
grounding. So from
Yes.
an
You're literally
energy,
putting earth in your body. Yeah.
exactly. So like from a physical and energetical and mental standpoint, you need to have that.
Hmm.
And also from an emotional standpoint, you need to um, feel into whether you have some inner child wound
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
related to fear and security, that
Yes.
any like inner child like trauma in the past,
Mhm.
or some people has past life wounds, meaning that they are like they might be witches that's burn at stake. They might be,
Hmm.
they might have a lot of intuitive gift, but they are like suppressed. They are like suppressed by some authority,
Right.
like, so those are the three things I would look into,
Yeah.
either a past life wound, either a red aura layer wound that you need to heal and rebalance the energy,
Hmm.
raise that frequency up, or you have an inner child trauma. So that's more specific to this lifetime instead of
Mm-hmm.
past life. So
Right.
like whether when you're a child, your some adult tell you, oh, this is all scary, or the culture, like that's why I said Hollywood movies start to make it like it's so scary. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like did the culture indoctrinate you? That's how it is, and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So once we
Yes.
clear that out, we clear the mental from the mental body standpoint. It's like a limiting belief.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just
Yes.
like a belief we make up and we
Mm-hmm.
replaying that again and again.
Yep.
If we replay a new belief in your subconscious mind, because I'm a theta healer, so I do reprogramming of a limiting belief in your subconscious mind. So once that belief is gone,
Mm-hmm.
then you no longer feel that. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess I was lucky that I did not have that problem. Like once I tune in, I wasn't feel fear. It's because my wound is more in the throat chakra. It's not really in the red or like I have that
Right.
security thing
Right,
worked
right. You,
out.
yeah, your first layer, you already had like safety and security. It,
Yeah,
it was a different
exactly.
layer that
So it
was, yeah.
depends on what you're working, right? So mine was also mostly mental. Once I let that mental cheetah go, it's gone. It's like I'm good,
Right.
And then it's the technique. It's just learning the technique of grounding, right?
Yes, yes.
And I know some of the spiritual seekers are vegetarian, but
Mm-hmm.
if you are Ayurvedically a Pitta
Mm-hmm.
composition like bodily, I
Yeah.
actually don't recommend you be a vegetarian because
Mm-hmm.
just naturally composition you need that. As
Right.
long as you honor the animals, you're fine. Karmically,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a Pitta, so I know that when I do a lot of when I need to sustain, especially for trans channeling,
Mm-hmm.
sustain that high vibe for a long period of time, I actually need to read red meat to calm down. I'm like it's not
Yeah.
like I don't want to respect the animals, but like
Right.
it's just a way of grounding yourself back down. And
Yes.
everyone has a different way, but I think like because red aura layer is also related to our physical body, it's like literally our
Yes.
physical body. That's
Yeah.
why food, tea, whatever you drink, it's so important.
Yes.
I
Yes.
drink hibiscus tea. That's a really grounding flower, like herb, and also crystal. I work with crystals a lot, so I always have. Do I need high vibe or do I need grounding?
You're
I
like,
always have
right. You're like,
three.
where am I at right now? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Do you need more of these? And that goes back to self-awareness, right?
Right,
No matter
right,
which, like you need to be very aware of where your energy level is at.
right.
And
And knowing if
and
it's yours or not too is a big thing.
exactly, you're right. Yeah. Good point. You also mentioned a good point. Another thing is the energetic core. Is
Mm-hmm.
the fear can come to a piece of you, like a soul fragment that's left in other people's energy field, or other people, other situation, or
Mm-hmm.
even other timelines that
Right.
it's because fear is like lack of self empowerment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that power, that particular thing, you might have left it in like past life trauma. You left it in past life, inner child trauma. You give the energy to that particular person who was abusing you at the time, right? No matter emotionally, physically,
Right.
and it's the same thing. It's like you need to do. I actually talking about that. I always do a visualization with Archangel Michael
Mm-hmm.
before I do channeling. It's very short, but like
Yeah.
I will see his arms like really enveloping me. Like Archangel Michael is the angel of protection, like
Yeah.
indigo blue, really vibrant blue, like really protecting me. And he's the angel, really good with core cutting. and
Yeah.
and I feel like my cores are completely clear. Like I am in my zone. Like I'm
Yes.
in a bubble of light. I'm in a bubble of protection. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to be harming by anyone or anything. So
Mm-hmm.
that's also like when I enter into, especially if it's a group channeling, like if I have a big audience, there's
Yeah.
a lot of energy going on.
A lot.
That's
Yes.
that's definitely something I need to do before I go on. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
just go on bare.
Right. You're like, I'm wide open. Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I do something very, kind of similar where
Okay.
I put protection in front of like my spaces. So yeah, I totally get that with like, yeah, because
Right.
sometimes, and I even do that with like when I'm, talking to someone who they might be, um, I hate to say trauma dumping, but
Mm,
with being a healer, people they sense it, they don't realize it, but then they just
oh
bleh,
yeah.
they just trauma dump. And
Oh
sometimes I'll
yeah.
be like, okay.
Yes, yes. You need to have your boundary. It's a
Right, right,
healthy boundary you need to set to protect your energy.
right.
Energy is everything. You got to protect it
Yeah,
yourself.
absolutely. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, energy's the currency that's just
Oh,
crazy.
yes.
And
Totally.
and yeah, and that's the thing. It's so fun to like being psychic and being clairvoyant and being able to see it happening is like it's just such a joy. Like I just enjoy it
Yes.
so much. Like because it's one of those things like I have a secret. Not really, but kind of, you know?
That's right. Now from yeah, I my third eye was started to open in 2018. From that on, my business, it's a very different one compared to, from 2012,
Right.
It's funny that the first 7 years I'm more in, Feng Shui interior design. But right now, I'm more in spiritual teaching
Hmm.
and channel painting, like
Nice.
intuitive painting. So it's very different because once your third eye wide open, you see things, your perspective
Everything.
shift. It's completely different.
Right. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you
Yeah, you
know it, you
can't.
can't unknow it. You can't go back. You just like
Yeah,
you're
that's right.
and
And
people
it's
around you are
good.
just
I
like,
love
"What's
this
wrong?"
space. It's
Yeah.
so it's really is unconditional love, and you
Yes.
really see everything, and everyone is connected. I personally find it super beautiful. That's why I also help my students to see that,
Yes.
not to say that to become a professional medium, but to
Right.
say that to have that connection, that
Yes.
divine line that they plug back into their spirit guides. I
Hmm.
find that super beautiful.
Right. Well, the thing, we all know our problems. Well, at least we generally have an under, like, it's like if we're only talking about that, it's no fun, you know? So you've
Yeah.
got to like you got to bring the fun in and the amusement. Like that's usually the energy I love to, because when you were like, oh, I don't laugh because, I don't take it seriously. I have the same thing. Like I'll literally be reading someone and I'll be reading something that's like their death in a past life or some traumatic thing and I'll giggle a little bit because the message is like, oh, this happened so that in a future life you can find your mock-up to get your space with whatever, and I'm giggling about it and then I'm like, okay, Heather, you can't giggle out loud because this is a very traumatic picture.
That's so, oh my gosh, that's so true. I did the same. I sometimes do the same thing, Yeah, I actually just did it to my recent reading. That was like, yeah, that's right. And once you see that, I mean, like, I don't have any fear for death anymore
Right.
because I know that
Your
once
soul is
your
eternal.
soul's leaving, it's just like a continue. Like, if you, like, the only differences it makes is that have your soul evolve from this lifetime
Hmm.
or before game over, or
Hmm.
so that you don't need to go to the first level again when you play a
Right.
game,
Don't have to start
you
over.
can you can go to level 2 this time, right? If you stuck in level 1 and then you game over, you gotta do it many, many, many times. I'm like,
Right.
it's gonna, you don't like this game anymore, right?
Right. Right.
So it's better that you are a little bit more level up. So I guess like for people who like third eye open, like next lifetime, I know that I will be psychic when I'm born now. Now I don't
Right.
need to worry about that, right? So it's always it's yeah, it's almost like to me it's just like a game. To
Hmm.
be honest, on planet Earth, it's like you make choices. It's almost
Yes.
like a first person game. You make these choices, get different results, right?
Hmm.
So are
Yeah.
you making more, soul alignment choices so
Right.
that you can level up? So that, when you come back, you do a different assignment, or you just get stuck in this particular assignment for 10 lifetimes. Oh my gosh.
No, I've seen that where I'm like, oh God, because I've looked at like my own past lives and I'm like, oh, I had a thing happen in this past life and I was stuck in that pattern through that lifetime. And so in this lifetime, I'm working through that pattern. I was like,
Right.
man. So I'm like, okay, can we like clear that out so I don't have to do it again in the next one?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
I love that so much. Um, so tell me about like your intuitive painting. You've touched on that a couple of times, and that sounds so much fun. So, like, what kind of like what's the process a little bit? And then, if you have any beautiful paintings to show me, I would love it.
Definitely. Well, first of all, those are my backgrounds and my paintings,
I
but
thought
I'm
so. I was
doing
looking, I was
a
like, I think so.
yeah, those are all my paintings. But
Hmm.
I'm also doing a solo gallery show right now. So some of my channel paintings are exhibiting in the gallery. That's why it's not at home.
Love that.
And so when I do intuitive painting, I always start with a meditation. So I will do meditation. It depends on whether it's a commission painting. I do soul aura color portraits. So for people who wants to do a portrait of themselves, I use their soul aura color in the background,
Ah.
and they get to receive a meditation from me to
Mm.
find out their soul flower, because I love painting flowers. And then I will overlay the flower on top of their face to do the portrait. So it's a very custom piece. That's one of the most popular paintings. That's
Yeah.
one of my
I'm like, I
offerings
want one.
online. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. And I know your aura color already. So, so you can take the soul aura color quiz to, find your aura color, and then you will do the meditation that I sent you to find out your, flower. And
Mm.
then I just need some picture of you from different angles, and then I do a portrait. So it's very, very meaningful. That's a commission. And
Mm.
another commission that's really popular on my website is called the crystal grid painting. So
Mm.
it's literally a crystal grid, that's to manifest your particular intention. So
Mm.
when we co-create together, you will tell me if there is a specific intention you want to manifest, no matter it's love, abundance, fulfillment, business success, whatever it
Right.
is.
Right.
And then based on that, there was different sacred geometric that I will meditate with Archangel Metatron, because Archangel Metatron is the one that will pick the sacred geometric to manifest this client's particular intention. Then I will
Wow.
select a set of crystals that's energetically in alignment with that, and I laid it on a crystal grid that's activated and framed to ship. So you can literally just hang it in your best Feng Shui direction. I'll also do a Feng Shui reading for this person. So that way they know exactly, if I want to manifest love, it has to be hang in this direction. If I want to manifest business success, it's on this direction. If I
I
want to
love
do
that.
personal growth, it's on this direction. So those two are my most popular intuitive paintings. And besides that, besides commission, for the business side, I also personally do channel paintings from my third eye. So whenever I was in a meditation session, I channel, like I see Mary Magdalene one time, and I immediately drew out. It's automatic writing or automatically drawing, right? I immediately drew
Hmm.
out her image. And I also channel my spirit team. They're called the Dragon's Eye. So I channel a dragon with a lady in front. I immediately draw it out and paint it. So those are my like standalone pieces.
Right.
And if it's okay, I would love to share my
Yes.
online gallery so people
Yes.
can kind of view it of what they are.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. So everything is on helencreatesbeauty.com. And if you click art gallery, those are all my art offerings. Of course, there are a bunch of other spirituality offerings. So that's why it's all art and spirituality.
Hmm.
And here is like the soul flower and aura color portrait is what I mean. These are some of my clients, as
I
you can
love
see
it.
here. Yeah, and her aura color is also jade in the background, green
Uh-huh.
jade, and her soul flower is white rose. So that's how I
Oh.
overlay it on her. And this particular client, she's actually in the UK, and her aura color is lemon, so lemon yellow,
Hmm.
and she's the entertainer soul gift archetype, and
Of
her
course.
yeah, exactly, lemon yellow, right? So and her soul flower is orange lily. So that's how, like, that's some of the examples how this process goes.
Hmm.
And then this is the personalized crystal grid painting.
Oh,
It can
that's so
like that's the
cool.
like flower of life, one of the sacred geometrics, and literally a koi fish.
Hmm.
So there is also motif that I want to paint around it. This particular one is for general, it's like protecting the home for general harmony,
Mm.
health, wellness, happiness, like joy, like all around kind of thing
Yeah.
for a home. So that was a, one of a kind. There were other crystal grid paintings. That's like they are all like sustainable harvest crystals. I don't buy those cheap, over abused labor crystals, so that
I
it's
laugh
not
because
even
I
good
see so many
wipes.
people with them, and they're like, "Oh, I have stick them in my bra," and I'm like, "That might not be doing anything," but you know.
Yeah, it really need to be high vibe. That those crystals you select is very important. It's not
Right.
just any crystal you find it on the floor. Let's do it.
Right. Yeah.
It's yeah. So here, like those are some of my most popular
They're
paintings.
gorgeous. They're gorgeous.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
I love colors, so my colors are pretty vibrant, as you can
Yeah.
see, because they
Yes.
really signal energy. Colors are energy, just like your aura.
Oh, yes.
And
Absolutely.
so the channel painting I mentioned, that's my personal channel of Mary Magdalene and her rose. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I view her in my meditation. And this was the Lady with the Dragon is the painting that I just recently finished with oil. And this is literally my spirit team is a dragon, and that's how they call themselves as the dragon's eye. And I see
Mm.
also lotus flower, and because of my East Asian upbringing,
Mm-hmm.
that's like a portrait of a lady in the East.
Yeah.
So it's the type of when you mention what is intuitive painting, what is channel painting, that's how those look like. So it's
Yeah.
a little bit different than the traditional art school type of painting. You look at
But it's
different
so
things.
much better.
Yeah, most things are actually through my third eye vision.
Yeah.
And this collection is just like birthday flowers with birthday crystals.
Yeah.
So like June is like rose, Alessandra. So I have all kinds of sizes and all kinds of price points that you
Mm-hmm.
can find on my website. And if you happen to be in Orange County, I have a gallery actually having my solo exhibition that you can view them in person as well.
Oh, that is so cool. I love to paint. I'm not like super great at it, and I'm like, oh, the idea of having your stuff in a gallery one day, I'm like, that's so cool. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you, thank you. It was also like really in alignment with my soul purpose, because
Yeah.
my soul gift archetype is literally artist, right? I gotta
Yeah.
create.
Yeah.
And this collection, Mystic Garden, the whole collection is channel visions during a series of meditation. They
Mm-hmm.
are all like that's like the moon phases. They're all and some of them actually has crystals on them. Like I put like this is a particular zodiac outline
Oh.
with aquamarine crystals on them.
Oh,
And
that's
this one
cool.
has like I think it's a sunflower. They have like citrine crystals on every point
Oh,
of
that's
the
cool.
flower of life. Yeah, so those are all like visions. I'm sure Archangel Metatron has something to do with it. He always shows me different sacred geometrics.
Yeah.
So all of these have meanings. I really love them. That those are all and this actually is the cover of my affirmation deck talking about channeling. I created a affirmation deck for the seven chakras,
Mm-hmm. I did
and
see that.
with 49 cards with different aura layers or different chakras, and they are all like from red, like for the root chakra, to orange,
Mm-hmm.
yellow. Oh, I'm also a flamenco dancer. That's why I paint flamenco dancers.
That's right. I did see that in your bio.
Yeah,
I
that's
love that.
right.
Oh, that
um
is so cool.
yeah, actually we had a flamenco performance in the gallery opening, so it was super fun.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, so
Oh,
those are the seven chakras, and this was the cover. This particular painting was in the cover page. That
oh.
lady, the lotus lady, I call
Mm-hmm.
her.
I love that.
Um, yeah, well, thank you for letting me showcase. They are my really my channeling babies.
Yeah, no, I could tell you sound so passionate about it, and you're like, oh, and my, I'm an artist, and I was like, no wonder you were so like anxious and depressed when you were trying to like fit in society and be analytical and be the intel, like, not to say
Yeah,
intelligence is not valid, but when people only function that way, they're so much
right.
more anxious and so much more depressed, and I'm like, that makes so much more sense because yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
no wonder you hated
exactly.
that.
So that's why, it's a matter of knowing who you are and just do what you are supposed to do so you can be
Yeah,
happy, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I see researchers doing that or some visionary archetype doing that. They are happy about that because that's what they are born to do, right?
right.
But if you are an artist archetype like me or the entertainer archetype of my client, I mean, we are like suffering like, it's not our soul's calling, right? So it's really like whether you are living from your soul level. And that's actually my purpose of writing the book, to discover at a soul level who you are, because your soul aura color really tells me about three very important information about your soul.
Mhm.
What your soul gift are, like the nine soul gift archetype. I kind of talk about it throughout, and also what is your soul wound. Which aura
Yes.
layer is your wound that you are here to heal, and
Hmm.
also what are your lessons. Soul lessons are less, they are less deep as the wound, but you still need to incorporate them to upgrade, right? To
Right.
upgrade your up level your soul to
Yeah.
be evolved into something different. Now, there is one question that I actually get all the time
Hmm.
from client students or people come to me for aura readings. If
Right.
they are, they're not familiar with it, they always say that my aura color changes all the time. How can you tell my, soul based
Hmm.
on something that change and shift all the time?
Right.
So I really want to put this out there, especially for spiritual beginners, is that there are three types of aura colors,
Yeah.
not just one. Okay, so what they might talking about, like you change all the time, it's called what we call the mood aura color. What are your mood at, right? Like if
Mm.
your faces are turning red because you're angry or you're shy, your mood is different. That shows up around somebody's face. If I see the colors is around your face, you're telling me, are you happy? Are you sad? Are you angry right now?
Right.
But there is another type of aura. It's called the personality aura. Now that's
Ah. Okay.
semi-permanent,
Right.
meaning that it only change and shift when something significant happen in your life and your personality change a little bit. Like
Hmm.
maybe from an introvert to an outgoing person, or maybe
Hmm.
from an analytical person to an intuitive person. So that's around your head. That's like when I see auras, that's around your head. That's like radiating around there.
Hmm.
So when you take an aura photography, you can check it out, right? It's
Right. Right.
around
Right.
your face, around your head, and that changes all the time.
Right.
However, your soul aura color radiating around your soul, like your
Your
where your soul
center.
is, your heart chakra,
Hmm.
because that's where your soul incarnated inside your heart. So
Hmm.
that's where I'm looking at, and that one is the most permanent of the three. I'm not saying that it's not going to change.
Right.
It will change,
Yeah.
but it's the most permanent one. It might change in 7 years. It might
Right.
change in a less
As you
frequently.
evolve, or yeah.
Exactly. As you evolve, if you up level, okay, now you're a different soul gift archetype, right?
Right.
Like now I'm transitioning into entrepreneur and teacher soul gift archetype instead of staying in artist, because
Right.
I can see once I work up my lessons, I am now, it becomes my strong aura layer. It's no longer a wound, no longer a lesson, and
Hmm.
I can sustain a few soul gift archetypes at the same time. So that's what makes the aura color wheel a dynamic system.
Yeah.
But it's not changing. It's not like you saying that changing every second or every minute of the day.
Right, right, right. Yeah, no, and I love that you intuitively like brought that up because I was actually wondering that as a clairvoyant, like I see, people's auras changing or being in different
Yeah.
vibrations, and no, that makes so much sense with because I like reading through some of your things before we did our interview, I was like okay, she's saying there's like one aura color, and I'm like, I see aura colors change all the time.
Yes, that's
And
right.
now you've
Yeah, yeah.
explained
It's a
that. I'm
very
like,
common question, so I want to throw it
but
out
yeah.
there. And
I was like, wow,
also,
she really got me, because I was like, she knew that was a question floating around in
yeah,
my
yeah,
space.
yeah, yeah. I know if you're intuitive, you're deep down, you deep down the spiritual level. That book, I want to make it really simple, so even for beginners, they can
Yes.
kind of know it. Instead of and I emphasize it many times. Aura color it's a shimmer, like water waves, shimmer of spectrum of color. It's not one static color, like a solid color you color in. No, 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 no. It's not like that.
Right.
It's shimmering. But if I can tell you, like for example, I see you as turquoise, jade, shimmering, green and blue.
Right.
But if I tell you that there were like tons of color, you will get confused. Like,
Right.
so am I jade? Am I turquoise? Am I this? Am I that? So to make it simplify, I call it one color. But
Right.
on an energy level, if you can perceive energy, it's never solid. It's never solid.
Never.
It's like shimmering and changing.
Oh, yeah.
But at a certain period of time, you are most likely in that similar spectrum, just like green and blue. It's similar spectrum shimmering.
Right. Yeah.
And then, but once you shape shifting to a different, like you are new, like I call myself Helen 5.0, right? If I'm Helen 4.0, I might be a different color, right? You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like, it's that.
I love that. I'm Helen 5.0.
Yeah, that's right. I was, and I'm always upgrading, the
Right.
Helen 1.0 is like, I don't know anything, I'm just like doing what the society and my parents expect me to do.
Right.
The Helen 2.0, okay, I started to rise. I'm a little bit different. Like I need to figure out who I am, and then I transition into the interior designer, right?
Right.
And then the 3.0 is like a business owner having my own practice instead of going the corporate route. Like I'm more like that. And the 4.0 is a professional artist and, begin some spiritual healing work. And the 5.0 is like completely full in alignment. Right now, I feel really in alignment.
Yes.
Do spirit message
You
readings.
seem really in alignment, like just based on like your vibe and everything that I'm catching. I'm like, oh, she is so in her element. Like, yes.
Yeah. So like, that's why you're so happy. Like, I don't feel work is work anymore. That's
Right.
why our conversation feels so natural, because we know, when you're in alignment, you're happy, you're healthy.
Right.
You attract opportunities, synchronicities,
Yes.
and the right
Yes.
people in your life.
Yes.
You don't trace anymore.
Right.
That's the biggest. That was the
You
actually the
receive, yes.
biggest thing. Yeah, I just receive. Like the book deal with Hay House, it just dropped it in my email box. Like I didn't even find a book agent.
That's amazing.
And find a list of 10 different possible publishers, and I need to email them individually. The same thing with my solo gallery exhibition. It's just one of my meditation students open up a gallery, needs an artist. Hey, Helen, I think you are a good fit. Like I don't even need to pitch myself to a dozen galleries, and let's do this thing.
Yeah.
It's the divine. I won't say it's the masculine or patriotic way, or the divine feminine attraction way of manifesting.
Yeah.
They are very different. Once you're in the zone, don't worry about money, love, and all this other stuff. Worry about yourself. Work on your own vibration. Once your vibration's up, all the stuff that match your vibration come to you.
Right.
You don't need to find anything. You are good. You're set.
Right. And that's spirit. It's always odd like that. Like
right.
The
I'm
most
so grateful.
Yes, the most bizarre things that like you're like, how did that even happen? Because people will be like, how did that happen for you? I don't know. It just kind of showed up and it was one of the best things ever. Don't know. It was there.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah, I just wish people, because this is a very different way. Because I was in that realm, in that patriarchy, work your way, hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Very
then,
third chakra.
You push until you get it type of mentality. To now, I'm just allowing. All I need to do to show up as my authentic self. And allow whatever the universe give me.
Right.
It's like,
and believe that you deserve it too.
yes.
That's the other side.
Yes. That's very, very important. Oh, yeah. This
Because you can be
self-worthy
yourself,
thing.
but also be like, and not show yourself. Because some people, they're themselves in private, but they don't, they hide. Yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out. That's also one of the work that I've done on many students and clients, that you need to shine your light.
Same.
That's a thing, because at a soul level, what are we? We are light. If you see energy, It's just a bowl of light, bowl of energy, bowl of color.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily even have the features of all these human thingy,
Right, yeah.
Right? It's a bowl of light. So at a soul level, you are just light energy. You're
Yes.
literally just working on your light, right?
Yes,
So
yeah.
that's why it's important to protect and shine that light.
Yes.
And yeah,
And that's
so
how you find your people. That's how you attract
oh
you,
yeah.
you shining your light out. Absolutely. Oh, I love this conversation. This is so
Oh yeah, me too.
this is so fun. I'm like, this has been great. So you talked a little bit about like what's inspired you to write your book and like you making it simple so that even beginners can understand it. And I guess yeah, just touch more on your book a little bit more about like what is your like goal with the book and what are you really hoping people get from it?
Yeah, so definitely the book, it's called the Aura Color Wheel. You know what your soul aura reveals your gifts, wounds, and lessons. It really goes back to the motto about knowing yourself is enlightenment. It's really another system. I would say it's a dynamic system because you can map out your soul evolution journey to know yourself at a soul level.
Yeah.
Not just what my personality is. No, it's at a soul level,
Right.
meaning that at an energetic level, you know, what am I working on? So that way, once you know at a soul level, oh, like for example, I was born with a tangerine aura color. My soul wound is in the throat chakra. Then I know what I need to work on is my throat, like I need to speak up. It's
Right.
a lot of training from 1.0 to 5.0 that I'm speaking up my truth right now, okay? Because I'm trained to be confirmative. To
Yes.
just say yes to everything, okay? To
Be agreeable,
people-pleasing
yeah.
shit like that, okay? That was the 1.0. So like I upgraded to now, so my wound is healed, right?
Yeah.
So you don't know, like if you're not self-aware, I always say self-awareness is half of the battle.
Right.
If you don't know what your soul is working on, you just don't know.
Right.
So the book gives you the blueprint to know yourself at a soul level. Oh, I was born this. Oh, I have a wounding here. Okay, now, okay, then how do I do it? Like, what should I do to heal this, right?
Right.
So, like for people who have soul wounds in the throat chakra, I have strep throat and nosebleed all my life. It's like until I heal it. Now I don't have it. You know, like
Right.
you either have physical symptoms,
Right.
You either have emotional symptoms,
Right.
mental symptoms, and if people have if they have mental emotional symptom, ADHD, autism,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
you just have different manifestation of that same energy thingy, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
So like from a spiritual level, like do you have past life witch wounds that you were burned and then you cannot speak your truth?
Right.
Like it's like so you can diagnose. Oh, I have this physical symptom. Oh, it's related to this aura color.
Right.
Oh, I have this mental symptom. Oh, it's related to this. So that
Right.
they can self-diagnose.
Right.
And then they can self-work on, oh, what are the holistic or energy medicine that I can work on this particular lesson or particular wound, or here are my soul gifts. And one thing is like, I'm so unapologetically saying that I'm worth it to
Yeah.
become, like I'm good
Yes.
enough to become an artist. A lot of artists still have that problem of claiming them as a freaking artist. They have,
Right.
yeah, like, am I an imposter because I didn't go to art school? I say bullshit. You are born an artist. Look, this is what you're born with, right? So like that's what the book helps you. It helps you to unapologetically say that. Yes, I'm a visionary. Yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Yes, I'm a healer. Yes, I'm an artist, and claim that instead of like, yeah, I didn't get this certificate. I'm not sure if I'm good enough to heal other people.
Right.
Bullshit. If you
Right.
know how to use a crystal, you don't need any certification to use it. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
just for your
Right. Yeah, 'cause-
personal security. Just like I know how to use Feng Shui. I don't
Yeah.
need a training for. I was born with this freaking thing. Like you know what? So a lot of people worry, like they hide. Why they hide? Because they have the imposter syndrome.
Right.
This book is going to help you to unblock this imposter syndrome, to claim and tell people, hey, I'm an artist. Hey, I'm a healer. Hey, I'm an entrepreneur. And by the way, I also am working on this aura layer so that my soul can evolve into the the next
next
level,
thing.
header,
Yes.
header 6.0. You know what I mean? Like, it's very
Yes.
fun,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
make it also relevant and entertaining, so it's not a boring thing that you
Which
need
I
to.
love. Yes. I can already tell by like just your energy and you. I'm like, oh, this book, I'm dying to get my hands on this book
I
now.
write how I talk. My husband's always joking. Like, I write how I talk. I tell the story, like exactly what I do. Like, because that's relevant.
That's authenticity. That's
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
You're not here to
So
speak someone else's words or the way they would say it. You're
right.
saying it your way.
Yeah, so it's not like a textbook. Although the system is channel, like, but
Yeah.
like, I get inspiration from my spirit teams. This is the truth. But
Right.
then, like, how I describe it is it's very relevant. We can diagnose our symptoms immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, do I have a physical symptom in my stomach? That's your solar plexus chakra, or maybe in
Mm-hmm.
my third eye. Do I always have eczema? You
Right.
can just
Right.
diagnose it.
Yeah.
Then you know.
I love that. No, I've had moments where um like my around my solar plexus, like my third chakra area will be like really, 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 really tight. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh my God. And I know it's not physical. I know it's energy. Like
Mm.
I usually know the difference if it's like if it's like, okay, I actually am like having a thing right now, or if it's, energy stuck in my
Energy, yeah.
body.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's so painful. This is why I love having a psychic husband because I'll be like, honey,
Yeah.
I need you to help me.
Yeah, in the something in energetically is going on there.
Right,
Yeah.
because it's hard
So,
to get center when you're in pain. That's another thing.
oh
Like when you're in
yes.
physical pain, it is really, really hard to get center and clear it out. So like, I guess, because like you're saying, like diagnose, like it's sometimes it's hard when you're dealing with like a really physical ailment that just like consumes you.
Oh yes. A lot of people mention that about sciatica. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's a really painful thing, in your sacral chakra.
Mm-hmm.
That's, yeah, some kind of physical pain. That's right. So that's why the first thing I already said, that the first layer to work on is your physical body. That's like the
Mm.
red aura layer. That's like,
Right.
if we want to, perform in planet Earth, we always need this physical body if we
Yes.
still want to sustain in this vibration, right? So, so the goal really in the end is to work up all the aura layers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just pick one and pick two. Yes,
Right.
right now that particular one might be more apparent. You might need to adjust it more immediately.
Right.
But then eventually we need to work up all of it.
Right.
That's when Kundalini awakening is. That's what ascension is. And that's what enlightenment is,
Yeah.
because it's literally embody your light.
Yeah.
Because your light at the end of the day is actually white. When you combine all the 7 rainbow colors, it's
Mm-hmm.
actually white light. That's
Mm-hmm.
why when we see all those ascended masters like Jesus Christ,
Oh yeah.
they're all like have the white or golden halo.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they work up all of them. You're
Yeah.
done. You're done with the human life. You can stay in the spirit realm as a
Right.
guide, right?
You can stay in that like pure form. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then also it's an iteration. Sometimes we work on this to a certain standpoint, like we are up level a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
We might need to come back to revisit when there is another time, and also auras work in pairs. Solar
Right.
process actually work with the third eye, they are a pair, like inspire action. So sometimes when you work on, especially if you're psychic, right, you work on that, you use your third eye law.
Right.
Sometimes energetically you get some deficiency in that, because that's a gut instinct. That's another layer of it, right?
Right.
Using your intuition. So like it's good to kind of know the energetics, like how they kind of pair up, like working together.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see psychically you and your husband is a complementary in soul aura color. That's also good. Like a
Thank
lot
you.
of stable couples, a lot of stable couples, they have that also.
Yeah.
Like in the book, it talks about if your aura color is deficient, like meaning
Mm.
that it's underactive, you
Right.
want that same color crystal or same food, like bananas, mangoes, pineapples, you name it, the yellow to
Right.
heal it. But if it is overactive, it's almost like inflammation, it's like
Mm.
too much of it. You
Mm-hmm.
actually want the complementary color.
Right.
So more like blue or purple instead of the yellow.
Right.
on your crystal healing or the food. You should eat more blue and purple stuff.
Right.
Like cauliflower and whatever. So it's like
Yeah.
it's like to understand. Once you understand it, it's actually not that complicated.
Oh,
You
yeah,
kind
no.
of know and then you can intuitively tune in. Like you said, it's an energy thing, it's a physical thing, it's a mental thing, it's an emotional thing. You
Right.
can self heal, right? Of course,
Yes.
sometimes you need healers or guidance or something, but
Right.
you are aware of it. Remember, self awareness is half the
Yes.
battle. Some
Yes.
people are just walking on this planet just blindfolded,
Oh,
right? They
yeah.
just finish this, game over, let's do it again.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, some people they're like, "Oh, there's nothing after death." And
yeah,
that, yeah, like
that's right.
we're just the bodies. Like I'll tell you a funny.
Uh-huh.
My mother's Catholic, and
Okay.
she's spiritual in the sense of religious,
Mm-hmm.
but I am very open about what I do with her. I tell her everything, and sometimes I know she believes me, and sometimes she's just kind of like, I don't understand that, and that's fine.
Uh-huh.
But when I found out I was pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
we knew she was a girl, and she was telling us like, I want to go, I want to live in the mountains and I want to snowboard, and she's telling us all this stuff, and she had like a whole list, and I was so excited. I'm like, oh, look at my girl already having a list for me. I love this. Like she has this whole like thing what she wants to do, and my
Uh-huh.
mother, I was telling her this, and she goes. Well, you're only like 8 weeks, like her brain's not even developed. How can you be having conversations with her already? And I was like, tell me you think we're the body without telling me you think we're the body.
Oh, I like that. I like that. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah,
For people who view the spirit realm. Yeah.
yeah, because it like,
It's
yeah, she's like, oh, she's just had this like, oh, she's the body. And so I was like, how do I explain? I'm like, Mom, that's her soul. I'm
her
talking to her
soul.
soul. And my mom's like,
Right.
oh, yeah, that right. But it was just a funny moment of like, tell me you think we're the body.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for people who just identify themselves as the body,
Hmm.
it's something harder for them to, just like what we had mentioned before, we give them the invitation, we mention it, but it's their choice to choose to believe it or not.
Right.
It's like, yeah, we wish they could, because if you actually sometimes I really think if we trust and we have the intention and open to receive it, we actually get to receive it even more. It's
Right.
because the doubt and the fear that's blocking us to see the truth. And if we actually tune into that, because I remember at the beginning, I also was, because I was transition, I wasn't like born really psychic or was whatever, at the beginning.
Well, you just weren't awake yet.
Right. I wasn't awake yet. I wasn't remembering my gifts. So at the time, I doubting it. When
Hmm.
people talk about angels and all that, if 10 years ago you asked me if I believe in angels, I would say now you're joking. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, exactly. So I was in that level of consciousness.
Hmm.
But what changes me is that, okay, so at the time, I was half foot like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm believing in it, but I'm not so sure. So for those
Right.
people who are there, that's my test. Okay. That's my recommendation. What I did is that I say that, okay, guardian angel, if you're really here with me, show me a sign.
Mm.
Okay. Like only that I know, that nobody else can know. Okay.
Right.
Otherwise, it doesn't count. I even told them that because at the time I wasn't sure,
Right.
if I want to trust you. Okay. And then I remember my father is one of my spirit guides. He passed, and and his favorite flower is orchid. Okay. And
Ah,
then I say
yeah.
that, okay, guardian angel, if you're here, show me an orchid flower. Okay.
Mm.
Now, because I live in Southern California, so orchid is quite common in the grocery stores and things like that.
Right.
So they know that it's not very special for me. And guess how I received this symbol? I tell him about it, and I forgot about it. I didn't even remember that I
Right. You
asked for
let
a
it go.
sign. Yeah, I
Yeah.
let go. And then I one day I was cleaning out the closet in my yoga teacher training menu. A
Mm.
dry orchid flower comes out from that. And then
Mm.
I actually burst into tears. That emotional response, I'm
Right.
like, holy shit, like this you cannot deny. It's like
Right.
it's like my guy's like, okay, you just see in grocery store, it doesn't work out for you. Like
Right.
I need to give you something so
It
special
has to
that
be specific. It has to be like intentional, and it has to be one of those
right.
things where it's
And
not.
it
Yep.
click from that point on, I don't doubt shit. Like I'm like, okay, I'm not doubting it anymore. It's
Right.
like I'm completely trust. And only when you really completely trusting it, you actually get to receive even more.
Yes, yes. My husband and I have been reading that because we've been like doing so much with abundance and trying to grow our business as well. And we've been reading about it. We're like, what's in our way? And our spirit guides are just like, you gotta surrender.
Yes. Oh, yes. I was there with you. So I know exactly what you mean. I was there. I was going back to this push. Oh, I need to grow, 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 in that paycheck. And then it said that surrender, trust me, you're going to get
Right,
anything you deserve. I'm
right.
like, okay.
Yeah,
That's,
it's like
yeah,
I know. It's
that's,
like you're safe. I've got you. You're safe.
yeah,
And I'm
that's
like, but
right.
I don't feel safe. I'm like, ah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I totally get you, Heather.
Yeah,
I'm
it
right
was a
there. Yeah, I love this conversation. It's good.
the
Good
picture will make
stuff.
you laugh. It was a picture of me holding a little white flag, being
Yeah. Yeah.
like I was like, I'm surrendering, but I'm terrified. Like,
Yeah, well, you need to do a little reel about it. That's so cool. That's so funny. Yeah, it's relatable, for people who are on this path. We know if we walk this path, we know.
yes, and it's hard. It is so hard to because everybody, some spiritual people, are like, oh, you just let go and you just trust, and it's like you got
No, it takes a process. It's a
oh,
practice.
it's a whole thing. Well, and the funny thing is when you decide something, all the energy in your space and in your body that either other people gave you or your wounds or past life stuff is going to come up.
Yes.
Because the moment you decide, I'm going to be an artist, or I'm going to
Yeah,
do
oh,
this,
yes.
or
And
I'm
then
going
you need
to,
to work through all of that.
you're like, all right, I've decided. And then boom, you're like, oh,
Yep.
okay, got to work through it. Like the imposter thing. And then, so then like the fear, the doubt, like that one time your dad told you that like you can't draw,
Yeah,
whatever.
I
Yeah.
know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. I
All
had
that.
that. It was like I lost an art competition, so I think I'm not talented. It's like complete BS. There's one thing. Yeah, that's right. So it's yeah, that's why the book got you. Heal your stuff.
I know. I'm like, I got to get my hands on this book. Oh, but yeah, no, this has been amazing. And do you have, as we wrap up, do you have a message for our audience that you would like to share before we close out?
Yeah, I would definitely say that your soul purpose, if you are trying to find it, it's just one word, evolution. That's what your soul is here to do, and to know yourself and evolve so that next life you are at a much better starting point. I would say that's one thing I've learned from
Right.
being a spiritual guy for many. And I also want to send it out there. There is the quiz. It's like free to take on my website, helencreatesbeauty.com. You can identify where your soul wound's at. And if you pre-order the book comes out July 15, but it's already on Amazon and any platform that you can order it. And if you pre-order it or if you order it later, you get a free Feng Shui birth element and Gua number reading from me. So that's a special piece of information. Yeah. So there are 4 bonuses when you pre-order. This is one of the biggies. That's like you send me your birth information, time, day, and location. I will tell you the 4 directions from the energy field where it's the best for your love, abundance, health, and personal growth. So you will know that for good. And it's just Helen at helencreatesbeauty.com. So that's one piece. And then also you get a free summer solstice soul aura activation event. It's an online event only for people who pre-order the book. And also join my private Facebook group. So that way you can ask me any questions in there. It's called the Aura Color Wheel Circle. And $50 off my meditation bundle. So that's like 49 meditations that has all original scores, solfeggio frequency, or biannual beats meditation music in the background. I collaborate with a Colombian musician to compose the music. So
That's so
it's some
cool.
good stuff there. So, and it's
Wow.
only like 17.99. I mean, come on, it's like
I'm like, that sounds like
it's
a
like
really good deal for
three
just
cups of coffee, you're there.
right? Right?
Yeah,
This is why I
that's
make
right.
coffee at home so I can buy things.
Yeah, that's definitely right. And you can get it
Oh.
from anywhere. You buy books. Doesn't have to be Amazon. If you don't like Amazon, you have local bookstore,
Hmm.
Barnes and Noble. Anywhere you can find books on, even Target, even Walmart,
Yeah.
anywhere that you go, you can buy this book and pre-order the book.
Love it. Oh, that's amazing. I love that so, so much. Yeah, I can't wait not I cannot wait to get my hands on this book. And
Thank
your
you.
energy is so wonderful. Like I'm like, no wonder this woman has so much abundance and so much flow. Like I'm just like, oh, I'm just in awe because I'm like, your energy is just fabulous. And
Thank you. You see, I'm a walking example of a radiant aura. So
yeah.
when you work on, I literally work on the 7 layers. Whenever an issue arises, I can immediately, like kind of intuitively pick up. You
Right.
work on it immediately. When you're very aware and you have a box of tools, like almost like a toolbox,
Oh
almost
yeah.
like an emergency box,
Right.
okay, this is for my solar plexus, this is for my throat, this is for my third eye. And
Hmm.
once you grasp that, it's just some fundamental knowledge and you're good to go. You
Right.
work on it and then you attract all the stuff in your life. Hey, by the way, the side effect is that you get money, you get love, you get all the success you want.
Right.
That's like a side effect
Right. Because the
by
universe is
working
not on a
on
budget.
yourself.
Yes.
So that's why I
Oh,
work on your life. That's really the last thing. It's evolution. Your soul purpose is evolution, and you are here to work on your light. Once you shine your light, you get all the stuff you want,
I love
everything.
that.
Fundamental at the soul level, we desire the same thing, isn't it? We
Yeah.
desire love, we desire success, we
Yeah.
desire abundance, we
Hmm.
desire peace, we desire health. Fundamentally, we humans, we souls seek the same thing. And
Yeah.
if you work on your own life, everything, all of these goodies will come to you.
Yes, I love that so much. All right, today has just been mind-blowingly amazing. Like this has just been the best best
Thank
conversation
you,
ever.
Heather.
Like I don't even want to like call it an interview because I feel like we've just been hanging out the whole time. This is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for your message. Thank you for coming on the show. And all right, all of you psychics out there and everyone who's been watching the show, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yay, thank
Bye.
you.